Hello class, welcome again to this another learning in module 5 in subject foreign language. So we will discuss about the Japanese numbers, counting in Japanese from 1 to 100 plus. So ready to learn how to count from 1 to 100 plus with Japanese numbers. So let's take a look at the Japanese numbers from 1 to 10 in the Sino-Japanese number system, which is most common. So this is the Sino-Japanese number system. So you will see I first wrote the Japanese numbers in kanji. So this is the kanji character, but included how to read them in hiragana character. So this is the hiragana character, and also with the romaji character, which is an English characters as well. So the Japanese number system can be quite complex, especially when you first start learning. So while basic counting in Japanese is easy, there are several ways to count also, even just to 10. And counting objects can become confusing because of 3D things called counters. But I'm here to help and guide you through it all. So I will share all my best tips for counting in Japanese and the tricks for getting around some of the difficult parts. So before we will proceed to our next topic, let's listen to a native Japanese speaker on how to pronounce or on how to count from 1 to 10. So these are the basic pronunciation of the Japanese counting from 1 to 10. If you are already expert on how to pronounce this one from 1 to 10, you can easily pronounce from 1 to 100, which is your activity after this learning or explainer video. So the Japanese number system has two sets of numbers. The first one, it is called Sino-Japanese numbers, and also the native Japanese numbers. So the most common Japanese numbers are the Sino-Japanese numbers, but you will often come across from 1 to 10 in native Japanese numbers. So first, let's talk about the native Japanese numbers, this side. So let's check out the native Japanese row first. So you will only see the system use up to 1 to 10. So it makes it easier. So the other cool bonus of this counting system, there is no counters. So I will cover counters in a moment. So but this set of numbers is considered the universal counter. You can see it to the count everything except the money, time, and people. So if you forget the right counter, use these numbers. The tip to remember these numbers is that they all end with 2. Everything is end with 2. Okay, so this is also the kanji character of 2. This also makes it easier when reading the kanji for these numbers. So you can always tell which counting system is being used by whether the kanji is followed by this character. Okay? And also the Sino-Japanese numbers, which is the common used by the Japanese nowadays. So now let's look at the Sino-Japanese numbers. These are the Japanese numbers you will use most often, and they combine with counters for counting objects. So once you memorize this 10 counting, if you are already expert on how to pronounce this 1 to 10, it become easy for you to count from 1 to 100. So this is our goal for this module, that you can able to count using the Japanese language from 1 to 100. But take note, there are 3 numbers have a different readings, like in the number 4, number 7, and number 9. So there are options to pronounce these 3 numbers. Okay, for example, the number 4 and 9, the number 4 and the number 9 are considered unlucky in Japanese, because the shi, this one, and the ku, this one, sound same as the word for death. Okay, death, patay, which is shi, and agony in ku. Okay, so Japanese people avoid using those readings whenever possible. So even though 7, this number, is lucky number, the reading is shichi. Also has, it's more common to say nana. So if in our activity, this module, you are going to pronounce the number 4 for yong, and for number 7 nana, and then number 9 is q. Okay, so we are not going to use this one, and this one, only this one, and then this one. Okay, so now let's proceed to how to count to 100 in Japanese. Counting to 100 in Japanese is super easy once you learn the first 10. So if you are already expert on how to pronounce from 1 to 10, it will become easy for you to count until 100, and it only uses one system. So in Japanese, once you get past the 10, you can count as if you are adding. Here's how that looks like. So for example, you can able to pronounce from 1 to 10. So how about if we will pronounce starting from 11? So 11 is Joichi. The 10 is Jo, and then we all know that the Ichi is 1. So if we will pronounce or count the 11, it is a combination of number 10 and number 1. So 10 is Ju, 1 is Ichi, so the 11 is Joichi. Okay, so for 12, 10 plus 2. So number 10 is pronounced again is Ju, and then the pronunciation of number 2 is Ni, so the 12 is Juni. Okay, so for number 20, the Ni is 2, and then the Ju is 10. So for 20, Ni Ju. How about 21? Can you guess what is the pronunciation of 21? So if 20 is Ni Ju, so what is 21? The answer is Ni Ju Ichi. How about 22? Ni Ju Ni. Okay, until you can follow with 29. And then for 30, that is Sanju. San is 3, Ju is 10. So the pronunciation of 30 is Sanju. How about 31? What is the pronunciation of 31 in Japanese language? So the answer is Sanju Ichi. How about 37? So for 37 is Sanju Nana. And then we also have 40. Yon is 4 and then Jo is 10. So for 40 is Yunjo. So for example, 43. How are you going to pronounce the 43 in Japanese language? So for the 43 is Yonju-san. Okay? So if you are going to memorize from 1 to 10 in Japanese language, it will become easy for you to pronounce from 1 to 100. So for 99 and then for 100, it is Yaku. How about 101? It will become Yaku Ichi. Okay? So once you get to 20, it's the same concept. If you're going to 20, same concept. To 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and then for 100, Yaku. Alright, so before we will proceed to your activity, let's listen again for a review for a native Japanese speaker. So please listen for the Japanese native speaker.
1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5 6 6 7 7 8 8 9 9 10 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 40 40 50 50 60 60 70 70 80 80 90 90 100 100
Okay, so that's how you are going to pronounce the counting of Japanese language from 1 to 100. If you are still confused on how to pronounce, just review this video. So for your activity, same with our previous activity, that you have a blindfold while you are memorizing or you are counting from 1 to 100 using Japanese language, and upload the video in this module, in module 5. So thank you.